Hello everybody, how you doing? Good afternoon. Hello, good evening and welcome to True Crime Metrix. We got a letter from John Lauro. Everybody's talking about letters from John Lauro. What is the deal? Apparently it's not just me. Others have been targeted by the campaign. What is the campaign? What's it all about? What do they want now? We're going to find out right here on True Crime Metrix. Let's go to the chat. What do people think about this so far? Yeah, we'll show the letter. I don't have a problem doing that. Let's just put these comments on the screen. Welcome, the real DJ Miller. Did anyone dispute that you were not the original? Is there a fake DJ Miller running around? A whole team. Good. Well, hello, Spacey Dove, Christina, Just Suze, Laurie Lane, 434. And Marla. Michelle, good to see you, Michelle. Okay, let's just go to the letter, I suppose. Where is it? Okay. So here's the letter. Zoom in. Okay, via email truecrimemetrics@gmail.com. That's where you can reach us. March 2nd, 2026. Legal notice. Demand to remove harmful content. Okay. Dear True Crime Metrix, that's me. We represent Wendi Adelson, who has been a key witness in a series of highly publicized what's wrong with me? Trial of her family members arising from the death of her ex-husband, Dan Markel, in Tallahassee, Florida. No argument there. We demand that you immediately remove content posted at link titled The Markel/Adelson Boys, We Found Them, and published by True Crime Metrix on YouTube. The post shockingly identifies and mocks Miss Adelson's minor children and domestic partner, none of whom had any role in the public trials. For the same reason, we demand you to remove a similar post regarding Miss Adelson's son found at link. Okay. Although the trials in which Miss Adelson has been a witness may be matters of public concern, Miss Adelson's personal life and those of her children and domestic partner are not. This content promotes threats, dangerous acts, harassment, cyberbullying, doxing, and harmful behavior directed at Miss Adelson, her minor children, and domestic partner. I don't remember anything like that. This video unquestionably violates YouTube's community guidelines prohibiting harmful and dangerous content and harassment and cyberbullying. The only possible motivation behind disclosing personal details is to harass. Which personal details are those? the only possible motivation behind disclosing personal details is to harass Miss Adelson and her children, put them in fear of harm, and cause severe emotional distress. An account identified as Mia Wallace 137 posted a comment which accurately encapsulates the danger and offensiveness of this video. Quote, "Placing teenagers in your crosshairs like this feels so beyond uncalled for and disturbing. Adults coming for innocent non-adults in this manner is very disheartening to see." End quote. And you use these innocent kids to pander for money from viewers. In addition to violating YouTube's policies, this content could be deemed to violate federal and state statutes prohibiting stalking, harassment, and threats. Furthermore, the statement accusing Miss Adelson of a crime can be defamation per se. The perception conveyed by the entirety of the publication is demonstrably defamatory, and the statements were not presented as opinion, but were sufficiently factual to be susceptible of being proved true or false. What? Hang on, we have to read that again. The perception conveyed by the entirety of the publication is demonstrably defamatory. Okay, we understand what that means. And the statements were not presented as opinion, but were sufficiently factual to be susceptible of being proved true or false. But were sufficiently factual. Well, I should hope so. That's the nature of journalism, isn't it? I mean, I want to be factual. Yes, as close as I can. But were sufficiently factual to be susceptible of being proved true or false. I mean, that to me just means that you gave enough information. Yeah, I'm not too sure why they're saying that. Thank you, if that's the intended. I doubt that's the intended meaning. Proceed. Through your internet and social media content, you also unlawfully promote the sale of merchandise that depicts Miss Adelson's name, image, and likeness. Your use and exploitation of Wendi Adelson's name, image, likeness, and any other recognizable aspects of her persona for commercial purposes violates her right to publicity, right of privacy, and other privacy torts articulated in the Restatement Second of Torts 65 to A-65 to I, and the statutory law of multiple states. Please remove this content immediately and cease any further publication or reposting of it or similar content relating to Miss Adelson's personal life and her family and friends, or we will pursue all legal remedies. Should you need any additional information or wish to discuss this matter further, please do not hesitate to contact me. Sincerely, John F. Lauro. Well, that's quite the letter. Thank you, John. So, yeah, I mean, what is there to say, really? I'm not sure that it warrants a response at this point in time. Though there is an invitation. What is said at the end here? Should you need any additional information or wish to discuss this matter further, Please do not hesitate to contact me. Well, I'd be open to that. That'd just be interesting in and of itself. I'm flattered, John. I'm flattered you give me the time. Fantastic. Okay, so that happened, and somebody told me that they heard someone else said when they were telling someone else that Jackie St. George, Jackie St. George, Jermaine, I know it's Jermaine. Jackie St. Germain said something about letters or letters from John Lauro, something like that. I haven't seen it myself, but yeah, interesting. What can we say about that, really? Well, I guess we could have a look at these statutes that are mentioned, right? Find out exactly what that means, because Amir Wallace's comment, as far as I remember, that was part of a conversation, and the quote that they've chosen to include does seem selective, so I forget what was said in the conversation, but I thought I brought her round to the truth of nothing was bad about what happened, but it doesn't matter. To be honest, it doesn't mean anything to me to keep the videos up. Maybe we should just keep Wendi happy. John Lauro's representing her, so apparently from this letter, of course it could be a fake. It could be a fake letter. Look at his offices. Florida, New York, Washington, D.C., 1717 Pennsylvania Avenue, which is immediately next door to the big house, the White House. Oh, funny. So what laws were mentioned? Something about a clause or a policy. Restatement. Well, let's look at the YouTube thing first. What is it? Community guidelines. Harmful and dangerous content. Let's see what is written in the policy. YouTube. What is it? Community guidelines. Harmful and dangerous content. Oh, it doesn't show up? Great. Oh, why won't you show up? Well, that's okay. We'll just put it like this. Finally. YouTube doesn't allow content that encourages dangerous or illegal activities that risk serious physical harm or death. What I said was that if she is found guilty, then my idea of justice would be not life in prison. The only thing that would do justice, if she's found guilty, is to strip her naked, cover her in peanut butter, and throw her into the gorilla enclosure for Zazu, the silverback. I mean, does that constitute a legitimate threat? Because to me it's just sort of a cartoonish expression. Free speech. I don't even know if there is a gorilla called Zazu in Tallahassee. In some cases, we may make exceptions for content with educational, documentary, scientific, or artistic context, including content that is in the public's interest. Well, it might be. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah, I really don't think there's much to it, really. Oh, here's some more stuff. Oh no, we did that one. We already did that one. Harmful and dangerous content policy. What this policy means for you. Note the list isn't complete, blah, 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 blah. Harmful, dangerous. Extremely dangerous challenges. Challenges that pose an imminent risk of physical injury. No. Dangerous or threatening pranks. Pranks that lead victims to fear imminent serious physical danger or that create serious emotional distress in minors or vulnerable individuals. No. Harmful or dangerous acts performed by adult, blah, blah, blah. No. Minors participating in dangerous activities. Content that endangers the emotional and physical well-being of minors. For more info, review our child safety policy. Okay, we can have a look at that too. They're not even her kids. Weapons content. Instructions? No. Yeah. Yeah, I really don't see anything that applies, really. As far as I'm aware. We need someone to review those videos. Well, maybe I'll just take them down. I mean, they're not doing anything for me. I didn't even like them. What else were we going to do? Oh, do we want to hear him speak? He was on Savannah Guthrie. John, which is so weird, considering we've all been looking at Savannah Guthrie. And then John Lauro writes to me, and I put his name into it because I want to see him speak. And there he is with Savannah Guthrie. John Lauro, Savannah Guthrie. Well, which one was it? Oh, there's way too many Savannah Guthrie videos. Hang on, I think I've got the link somewhere.
Earlier this morning, we had the chance to speak to one of Mr. Trump's defense attorneys, John Lauro. We started with the timing of a trial. The special counsel said yesterday he would like to see a speedy trial. That is 70 days from now. Are you ready to go? Would you like to see a speedy trial?
Well, the speedy trial right is the defendant's right, not the government's right. So we're entitled to understand what the charges are. We're entitled to do our own investigation. The special counsel or the Justice Department, the Biden Justice Department, has had 3 years to investigate this. To take President Trump to trial in 90 days, of course, is absurd.
I should probably say that we don't want to discuss any, we're not watching this for the political thing. So that doesn't matter. Let's just not even bring it up. But just to see John Lauro, right?
The question is, why do they want to do that? If you want to seek justice.
Donald Trump's lawyer sent me a letter. I mean, that's pretty crazy, isn't it? I want Donald Trump to send me a letter. Yeah, that's it, John. John, tell the Donalds to send me a request to remove the content, and I'll gladly. It has to come from the top, John.
Justice, then you need to offer President Trump an opportunity to get a hold of all the evidence and understand what the facts are.
Well, I assume you're confident you can win this case.
Absolutely, we're going to win.
Yeah, would you, at a minimum, say you'd like to see this resolved before the election?
I want to get to all the evidence. I want to have a chance to present our case to a jury. This is the first time that the...
I mean, you can just take the fact that he's talking about President Trump out of the equation and just imagine that this is talking about Wendi, right? I want to get to all of the evidence and, absolutely, we're going to win. Because that's what it's going to be. Georgia will be out there. I mean, if she's arrested, and a lot of people seem to think that she will be. I mean, is it a fact? Well, it hasn't happened yet, so...
First Amendment has been criminalized. It's the first time that a sitting president is attacking a political opponent on First Amendment grounds and basically making a criminal to state your position and to engage in political
I've got to give you a
advocacy.
little time out on that one, because of
we've
course,
never seen that before.
Well, the indictment specifically says that the president has a First Amendment right to speech.
Yes.
He even has a First Amendment right to lie. It says it right here.
Absolutely.
This indictment is criminalizing conduct, not speech.
No, it's criminalizing speech for this reason. What the president saw in the 2020 election was all these irregularities going on. Okay, affidavits, sworn testimony, examples of instances where the rules were changed in the middle of the game. He had every right to comment on that and act politically. In a criminal case, what they would have to show is all of that speech was not entitled to First Amendment protection.
But we're not talking about
They'll
speech.
never be able to do it.
It's very explicit. It says, though Jack Smith saw this very argument coming, it says he is being indicted for conduct using unlawful means of discounting legitimate votes and subverting the election results. He says he can speak all day. He can't engage in conduct.
Of course, you can take action in the political sphere. For example, let's say somebody opposes a law in Congress. Do a filibuster, right? That's political speech. That's political action. There's nothing wrong with that. But what we have something that no one else realizes.
There is something wrong with sending fake electors, trying to go beyond and around the law.
Okay, we get the idea. He might be one of the lizard people. A reptile. Take me to your reptile queen. Yeah, okay. So, yeah, John Lauro, what do we, yeah. I guess we'll review it. What else were we going to do? I totally forgot. There was some idea. Christina, what was that idea? Let's go to the comments. Let's go to the comments. There must be some comments. What do people think about this letter? Been any comments? Hello, Daphne. Okay, Excellence9 says, let's send Lauro a cease and desist letter to stop sending cease and desist letters. Well, it's not a cease and desist letter. I don't think we should call it that, because that has meaning. And domestic partner. Well, that'd be George Estrada, I assume. I mean, we can play the bit where I said about George. I did say I won't show the Well, I guess we could play the bit about George. Where's that video? Oh, we need to put the cell phone over there. God, how many videos? We got to come back to Nancy Guthrie. What the fuck is that about? Where is she? Right, where are those videos? Oh, here it is. Support the channel if you want. Support the year. Support 20. Oh, terrible. I have to listen to myself. I don't want to do that. Okay, we'll just do it a little bit. 26 on True Crime Metrix. PayPal.me/True Crime Metrix. Or buy us a coffee. Buy us 10 coffees. What are we going to do now? Shut up. Do the fucking whole thing again? No. Let's do the George Estrada video. I want to see how closely he presents to this guy. Oh yeah, that I remember now. That's what it was. When we thought fake Ben was real Ben, we thought that his presentation style, that he was practicing his speech. You remember? And I remembered that George Estrada has his video up on YouTube where he's doing an Amazon presentation or something. Where do we see that? Was it on YouTube? God. Yeah, here. Stells25 says, has any other streamer received similar correspondence? Well, apparently 3. I don't know if that includes me or not. I haven't got a problem with anyone knowing. We got a letter from John Lauro. This is what he said. Okay. What else? I find it odd that Spacey Dove says, I find it odd he refers to the children as kids in his letter. Yeah, that is odd, isn't it? Let's pull it up again. Oh, not that one. Where is it? And you use these innocent kids to pander for money from viewers. You see, what I think there, Spacey, is that the quote, I think that's part of the quote from Mia Wallace, and that they have just put the speech mark quotation in the wrong place. That's an error. I think we can pull up Mia Wallace's comment. Well, now let's do it now. Well, there's a bunch of comments. Here we go. Hi, True Crime Metrix. There are a plethora of angles and so many perpetrators to cover in this case. Placing teenagers in your crosshairs like this feels so beyond uncalled for and disturbing. Adults coming for innocent non-adults in this manner is very disheartening to see. TCM, you have a surplus of intelligence, charisma, and wit, and whether or not these are in fact the sons of Professor Markel, I implore you to please reconsider your placement of Professor Markel's sons on blast like this. Even if you don't agree with me, please consider it as an act of good faith. If you consider yourself to be an advocate in any way whatsoever for truth and justice being served for Professor Markel, then please remove your content targeting his sons. It's not targeting his sons. As doubtless that would be a far greater and more significant service to him than every other piece of your Markel and Adelson related content combined. I am not here to be an advocate for justice for Dan Markel at all. That's not my duty, responsibility, interest. You know, that is not what that's not what I'm doing. And if you feel compelled to be a positive force or influence for them in any way, then surely you can come up with a far less invasive and more productive way of doing so. I ask you, please, sincerely from my heart, thank you for your consideration. Did I reply? Maybe I had a conversation with Mia on the other video. I remember a thread. Well, it doesn't load. Let's just check what we said about George. Brilliant.
Hi, my name is George Estrada, and I'm a strategist for the nonprofit team at Amazon Web Services. A question I often get when developing a cloud strategy is on whether one should think of a move to the cloud as a chance for staff reduction. The short answer is no.
What's the answer to where's your fucking tie? I left that at home. Wendy came to visit me at the office, and we had lunch in my closet.
Moving to the cloud is not a one-step move that ends with the migration into the cloud. Instead, it's an element of a broader...
Well, you know, to be honest, I don't know what the fucking purpose of this video. That wasn't even funny. You know, I mean, I should just take it down to protect my own reputation. Oh. Yeah. This was New Year's Day. I was not having a good time.
strategy that is laying down the foundation for scaling, automation.
It's not that much better than the boy, is it? What did he just say?
The cloud as a chance for staff reduction. The short answer is no. Moving to the cloud is not a one-step move that ends with the migration into the cloud.
He's actually nervous in the room while doing this to himself. You see that hand gesture?
Reduction.
His frontal cortex just went, you need to be more natural. You're too rigid. Loosen your hand. That's absolutely true. I mean, is it my opinion? Yeah. But it's an opinion that's also true, so... I mean, you know, it's like... What is it not clear that it's an opinion? Is it bullying? I mean, I'm commenting on his presentation style, which is anyone going to say that that he's a natural speaker? Hands. Do something with your hands. Express. Gesticulate.
The short answer is no. Moving to the cloud is not a one-step move that ends with the migration into the cloud.
Oh, I remember now.
Widen your feet.
We pull up the picture of the Indiana Jones bad guy, don't we? That Temple of Doom. Because he does look just like that.
Widen your feet. Lose that energy. Lose that heat.
Or do you think Wendi is under the camera right now, sucking him off? Oh my God.
Like he's Jim Morrison singing this soft parade.
Well, that did actually happen in the movie, the Val Kilmer movie.
Laying down the foundation for scaling, automation, and innovation. So rather
But yeah, why would I even say that? I mean, I don't know. Okay, so what else can we do? Yeah, so what about the idea of what this is all really about, you know? The amount of resources. We're talking about the lawyer. Look at this picture here. Where is it? Two seconds. So there he is on the right hand side of the picture. And there he is in the Oval Office. I mean, what does it cost for this lawyer to send out a letter? What does it cost for this lawyer to sit in every single trial, I believe, through every testimony? I mean, even podcasters don't do that. You know why? Because when the friggin' financial forensic accountant comes on with a spreadsheet, it gets long, right? Sergeant Corbett, Chris Corbett. Fantastic for 10 minutes. But he's up there for 3 days. What does it cost to put a lawyer that's the lawyer for the president in Leon County Courthouse for all that time? I mean, must be a lot of money. Too much money, even for the Adelsons. Maybe it's not money. What else would it be? I don't know. Gold? Anyway, my point is, this letter that I've received and other people have received, apparently, is it what it appears to be? Or is it something else? Is it a legitimate, honest request or demand to remove content that has upset Wendi Adelson, who the firm Lauro and Singer represent? Is that what it is? Is that where they put resources right now? Because if we think back to Charlie's trial and Donna's trial, what did both of them try to do? Two things. Both of them tried to go for a Arthur hearing, right? Which is the hearing you have to appeal the judge for to grant bond, to grant bail on a non-bondable offence, and pre-trial release. Right? Both Charlie and Donna tried that and failed, because some of the prongs of the test to see if it can be granted are, let's pull them up. Okay, what is an Arthur hearing? You've been arrested for a crime in Florida. The judge will generally set bail or bond and release you on about. Arthur hearings are critical legal proceedings for defendants charged with serious offences in the state of Florida. Since such offences do not automatically qualify for bail, the hearing gives the defence a chance to advocate for pre-trial release. A judge will determine whether sufficient evidence exists to keep the defendant detained, or if bail can be granted. With specific conditions, the judge's decision will determine whether or not you can maintain your employment and stay connected with your loved ones while awaiting trial. The defendant may need an Arthur hearing if they are facing any of the following offences: murder, armed robbery, kidnapping, sexual battery, and armed burglary. Of course, those are the charges that Charlie and Donna were facing. Murder. There are two phases to an Arthur hearing. The Arthur is basically a mini trial in which defence and prosecution present arguments for or against pre-trial release. However, unlike an actual trial, there is no jury. The judge determines the outcome. Phase 1, evaluating the strength of the evidence. Well, where's the list? There's a list. I've seen it. I thought this was it. Damn. Oh, here. Assessing eligibility for release. If the prosecution fails to meet the burden of proof, the judge then may decide whether to grant the defendant bail based on the defendant's criminal history, severity of the charges, defendant's flight risk. The judge has broad discretion when it comes to setting bail. A strong legal defence is essential to a favourable outcome. So Donna was a flight risk because she was trying to fly away, right? Charlie was also a flight risk because he'd made a comment about if they had any evidence, we'd have already gone to the airport or something like that, right? And interfering with witnesses. We've already discussed on this channel that Wendi would have a far better shot at getting an Arthur hearing granted, which is why I've always said that she's not running anywhere. She'll be prepared. She would probably have prepared herself for all this. I mean, she knows the process. She knows what an Arthur hearing is. John Lauro's there. I mean... But then when it comes to these letters being sent out, what Charlie and Donna also did was request to change venue. Rigorously. With vigor, with great vigor, they attempted to change venue. Donna Adelson would say, 10 years of bad social media campaigning. You know, we'll never get a fair shot. Charlie Adelson on the jailhouse calls. I knew I wouldn't get a fair shake in Tallahassee. They've had 10 years of smear campaigning and all this, right? But neither of them, apart from Daniel Rashbaum showing a few fucking screenshots of Facebook posts and Mr. Morris, Alex. Apart from that, there was no big paper record. Right? Nothing that you could hand over. Some big catalogue of some voluminous binder stacked with cease and desist letters, demands to remove harmful content, etc., right? So if Wendi were to be arrested, having a stack of binder full of legal letters sent to podcasters like me and others that have an interest in covering the trials surrounding the murder of Professor Markel, you got to think that that would be a better thing for the argument of a change of venue, right? Well, maybe not. Maybe it's not a change of venue because the only people that matter in that consideration are the people local to the where the crime happened and where the trial will be held, right? That county. Those are the only people that matter. And out of those people, it's only 12 you need that are that either have no knowledge or do have knowledge but can set aside their opinion, even if they've formed an opinion. Usually, I think in jury selection, the judge will ask those individuals, have you formed an opinion? Yeah, what is the questions are like this, something like this. Have you any knowledge of the case? Due to that knowledge, have you formed an opinion about the guilt or innocence of the defendant? And if the answer is yes, they can still ask, despite having that opinion, do you feel that you can adequately put that opinion aside and be open to, the evidence presented at trial, judging only on what is presented at trial, something like that, right? And if they say yes, they can be on the jury. So I don't see how it would really do that argument any good to bring in a stack of letters sent to podcasters from all over the world. It doesn't really matter what someone in New Zealand is saying, or someone in Bangladesh, or someone in Qatar. It doesn't matter. But for opening statements, for future appeals even, having this stuff on record, letterhead paper, sent out to podcasters, building up that, material, you got to think is a smart move. You never know when it might come in handy. I'm surprised it's not happened a lot sooner. Yeah, so I guess we'll review those materials and let everybody know at some later point within a reasonable time frame that what we decide to do. But yeah, that's all there is to say about it, really. What else can be said? Let's go to the comments. I love Wendi. She's definitely innocent. Please don't sue me, Wendi. Oh, Michelle. Yeah, no, it's fully legitimate. It's it's from the email address Lauro and Singer, or laurosinger.com. I mean, that's all the proof you need right there. And I don't see anything dubious about it, to be honest. It's well within the range of expectations. Cindy says, I wonder if he and Wendi went to school together or something. I thought it might be like at the beginning of The Departed. You know, when Jack Nicholson is grooming a young Matt Damon so that he can be his inside guy in the Boston Police Department, right? Now, what if Harvey Adelson and that guy, the gourmet swinger, what's his name? Cunningham. Annie Cunningham's husband, I forget his first name. If he and Harvey Adelson, when they were at, or maybe not at school, but, you know, had found a young John Lauro as a boy and put him through the best law schools ever, right? Set him up in early practice, gave him every support to be a big lawyer in Washington, D.C., with offices on Pennsylvania Avenue, well, la-di-da, right? But in the heart of power. So if ever their daughter is in trouble, they can call on John. Oh. We've all got to go and watch The Departed now. If Wendi were here, Music by Brian says, if Wendi were here right now, which she is, I would just want her to hear me say that Metrix is not your enemy. You should be thanking Metrix, and here's why. Metrix allows you to imagine the worst life possible, worse than your life actually is. So when you get back to real life, it doesn't seem so bad. There is no gorilla about to eat your face. Thank you, Brian, for that delightful contribution. Ron Goddison. Who is that? Yeah, Departed. I'd say Scorsese's best. I'd say Scorsese's best. I mean, I know that people love Goodfellas, but frankly, I enjoy saying that I'm not that fussed about it, really. the Shinebucks scene is probably one of the greatest moments of cinema ever. But that's all thanks to the late great Frank Vincent, right? And then Casino. I definitely prefer Casino over Goodfellas. It's just the Ray Liotta narration thing, you know. After the fifth fucking time, too much. And you know who wasn't in it as much as he should have been? Who I just love, who played the Lord Capulet in the DiCaprio, Baz Luhrmann, Romeo. What's his name? What's the guy? The Goodfellas character is Paulie, and the actor is Paul something. Sriocco or something. He's fantastic. I love him. And what else was he in? That William H. Macy, Alec Baldwin classic, Vegas classic, The Cooler, right? The Cooler. Everybody watch The Cooler. Including you, Wendy. And hey, Wendy, if you are listening, I gotta tell you, Wendi Adelson, if I have the opportunity to suggest a 1994 Linda Fiorentino fucking great piece of cinema, also including Bill Pullman, yes, then I gotta tell you, watch The Last Seduction like it's not already your favorite film. Right? 100%. Anybody not seen Linda Fiorentino's The Last Seduction that doesn't understand why that is Wendi Adelson's favorite film, go and watch that tonight instead of watching Metrix. Yes, I'm sending you away because it's that good. Fuck yes. I want to watch it myself. We should all watch it together. Wendy's favorite film. Definitely. If it's not yet, it will be. Sorvino, thank you, Christina, that's it, Sorvino, yeah, he's brilliant, love him. What else can we say about this letter, anything? I don't know, should we do a bit of Wendy coverage? What can we do that's Wendy? Some of her time on the stand, or maybe the police. Open to suggestions. Let's create a suggestion box. Spaces with Al Pacino. Al Pacino is in no film that I've mentioned. Wendy suggestions. What does that do? I don't think it does anything. It's not even a poll. It doesn't matter. Somebody's got to send us a link. Now I can't see the chat. Fuck that thing. What about that crazy Corey Richards? Did everybody see our post? Where's that great post? Poll. Christina wants a poll. If you could let either Donnie or Charlie out of jail and replace them with Wendi, who would you set free? Probably Charlie. But yeah, we'll do that poll. I like that poll. It's too long. Well, they'll get it. Donna, Charlie, leave Wendi. Right, okay. Vote in the poll. Should we play Jeff or Wendi? Jeff or Wendi? Jeff, Wendi, Jeff, Wendi. First person with an opinion is the person that counts, is the opinion that counts. What is it? Who is it? Or Charlie. Right. Yeah, no. I was thinking I might be like the next Maduro. You know, how high up does Lauro go in Washington? Am I going to have Black Hawk helicopters landing on my balcony? You know, for the longest time I thought they were called Black Hawk Down helicopters. Not realizing that that was just the name of the movie. And then I realized that how stupid it would be to include the word down in the name of a helicopter. That'd be like calling a gun this is the new cult misfire, the new cult misfire. Yeah. I got the bent barrel package. You know. Names for products that are against what they're supposed to do. Isn't that the funny thing about branding? The Black Hawk Down helicopter. If anything, it should be up, right? Or lift. The Black Hawk lift. Oh. Oh, everybody says Wendi. Okay, so let's do Wendi. What is this? Is this Wendi? (2025, 2019, 2022, 2023). Somebody say a number. A year. What year? Michelle, you choose. Michelle always gets first pick at a fresh box of chocolates. Any kind you like. Michelle, those are all letters and words. I don't see any numbers. Okay, there's one number. What's the number, Michelle? What year, Michelle? Is she thinking or what? What was the question? Oh, okay. What year? Wendi, but what year? 2019, 2022, 2023, or 2025? What year is best? We're going to go to a commercial break. Support the channel on buymeacoffee.com/True Crime Metrix for your lucky cup, your lucky Easter cup. There's an Easter egg hunt and it's happening on Buy Me a Coffee. Or maybe it's on PayPal. Check both areas for those eggs, chocolate eggs. 2024, Michelle gets... Okay, no, that's not a year. Okay, I'm going for 23, Charlie's Trial.
Affirm the testimony you're about to give will be the truth. You may be seated.
Ma'am, please say and spell your name.
Wendi Adelson, Wendiadelson.
Where are you from, Ms. Adelson?
I'm originally from Coral Springs, Florida.
And where do you live now?
I currently live in Miami.
How are you employed?
Now kind of part-time. I do asylum work and I fundraise for nonprofit organizations.
Are you an attorney?
By training, yes.
Okay. How long have you been a member of the Florida Bar?
Since I graduated and took the bar in 2006.
And are you here today pursuant to a subpoena?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. And that subpoena confers...
You see, when she's asked there, are you an attorney? And she says, by training, yes. I mean, then again in 2025, at her mother Donna's trial, I believe that she starts saying that she's an attorney again. Like, sometimes she wants to distance herself away. Hey, by training, but that was years ago. My knowledge of criminal law goes back to a semester I took it before I even passed the bar, or whatever she said. And then other times she wants to present as a lawyer that knows the facts. And I think the point is that it's different, right? It's unpredictable. It shows, it's possibly an indicator of Wendi's anticipation and for knowledge or for thought, at least, that there would be multiple sequential trials, right? Because if she'd have come into each one and maintained the same versions of answering questions. That's predictable. And predictable is vulnerable. Right? That's how the fox catches the field vole. Because he watches. And every day he comes out that hole. He's pattern orientated, right? I think the art of war says that, doesn't it? Don't do the same thing every day. Because if you become a creature of rhythmic habit, any predator will be able to learn those habits, use them against you, and be prepared to strike. And if that predator is Georgia Kappelman, you got to think that Wendi coming in here with such baffling variety of answers to questions that are completely conflicting. And many say is irrefutable, I was going to say purgatory. What was it? What is the word? Perjury. Purgatory. Maybe it is purgatory. Purgatory is where I just had to keep going to the same trial over and over again, but every time it was a little bit different. And then finally it was my trial. Isn't that like a fucking Twilight Zone episode? That is it. That is exactly. This guy goes to sleep, and every time he goes to sleep, he's at the same trial, but it's a little bit different. And then he finally wakes up, and he's the one on trial. Right? That's such a Twilight episode theme. I almost want to make it into a short film. That's fantastic. I love it. We've got to write that down. That was brilliant. Oh, it's recorded. Hey, Wendi, what do you think? Twilight Wendi. Twilight Zone. Every time he goes to sleep, he is at the same trial, but it's a little different. Finally wakes up and he is the one on trial. One day. We're so going to make that into a movie. Metrix shorts. Well, actually, we can't call it shorts now because that's been taken over by social media. The word, we've lost a word. It now means something else. All right, Metrix rushes. No. We'll think of something.
Use and derivative use immunity too, so nothing you say could be used against you in the future.
That is correct.
Okay.
And that's what we'll call it. The perjury, the purgatory of perjury. I love it. It's great. I want to make it right now. I want to put an ad for an actor that will work for free. These angels exist.
That doesn't mean you have full immunity from prosecution, but nothing you say here and nothing derived from it could be used in that prosecution. Is that your understanding?
That is my understanding.
Did you know Daniel Markel?
Yes.
How did you know him?
We were married.
When did you meet Mr. Markel?
We met in the fall of my second year of law school, so fall of 2004.
And where did you meet?
We met in Washington, D.C. He was working there, and I was looking into a summer job in Washington.
When did you get married?
In February of 2006.
And when did you live here in Tallahassee?
We lived in Tallahassee my third year of law school, so...
You know, when people have to refer back to some kind of milestone in their life to remember something else of less importance, like if I ask someone, hey, when did you start working at the old mill? And they'll say, God, let me think, it must have been 19... It was just after my daughter was born, so it would have been 1997. They refer back to the more important thing, right? In those distant memories, they base it on the thing that meant something. Because working at the old mill, I mean, it wasn't even full time, was it? So it didn't stick in his mind. But when Wendy's asked, when did you marry? When did you meet Professor Markel? She refers back to the more important thing, which was starting law school. It was my second year of law school. So, 2004.
From August of 2005 until I think around maybe May or June of 2006. And then we moved to Miami for a year because Danny was interested in working at the University of Miami. Mm-hmm. He did not get the job at University of Miami, and so we moved back here in 2007 and lived here until 2014.
And where were the two of you employed during the time you lived here in Tallahassee?
I was employed at the FSU Center for Human Rights, and Danny was employed at FSU Law School.
Were you both professors at FSU College of Law?
Yes.
And were you living on Trescott Drive at that time?
When we were married, we lived, I think we rented a house before that, but at some point, maybe in 2008, we moved to Trescott Drive.
And is that the home that he was still living in at the time that he was killed?
That is correct.
Okay, and you were no longer living there, is that correct?
I was no longer living there.
All right, at the time he was killed, you two had children together, yes?
Yes.
And how many children did you have?
We have 2 children.
And what are their ages now?
They are 13 and 14.
What about at the time of their dad's death?
At the time of their dad's death, they were 4 and 3.
When did you separate from Professor Markel?
In the fall of 2012.
Whose decision was it to separate?
It was my decision.
And was part of the reason for the separation the two of you having differing views on how to raise your kids as far as within the Jewish faith?
I mean, it was a small part, but it was part of it.
Okay, that seemed to be something that came up a lot in your communications, so that's why I ask about it. What was the difference of opinion on that?
I mean, when we first met and started dating, Danny wasn't as observant or as religious as he became over time. And so the difference in our perspective on raising kids was about dietary choices and attendance at synagogue, things like that.
So in general, he wanted to raise the children more strictly in terms of the faith than you.
That is correct.
Oh, where is the Wendi merch? Yeah, I can show you that. I mean, I'm more than happy to take that down. I was going to take it down anyway. You know why? Because we've only sold one, and that was to a moderator. And she sent me a picture of it, and all the printing is shit. But that's my fault, because I put the wrong font on it. Where is it? I'll show it to you, but I'll take it down. I was going to take it down before I even got the letter. because the printing's bad. This one. So yeah, to our lucky moderator, who will have the only one in existence. It's too bad that you see at the bottom where it says stay tuned. The thing was that like the white line, it's too small for the resolution of the printing, so it was kind of blurry, which is a shame. But yeah, there you go.
Did you move out of the marital home while Mr. Markel was away on a business trip?
I did, yes.
All right. And did he know that you were moving out when he left for the business trip?
No, he did not.
Where did you go when you left the marital home?
I rented a home in Tallahassee.
Where was that? Do you remember the address?
Aqua Ridge Way.
3303 sound right?
That's right.
Okay. And what was the custody arrangement once you moved out of the marital home?
I mean, in the beginning, until we had a formal custody arrangement, we were just finding ways to share custody. I remember that first weekend his parents came, so I made sure he had the children all weekend while his parents were visiting from Canada. But eventually we had a 50-50 shared custody arrangement.
All right, and do you remember exactly what that looked like? Was it week on, week off, or something more complicated?
It was something more complicated. In the summertime, it was week on, week off. During the weeks, it was I think what they called like a 2-2 split, with Wednesday night being an overnight and then the weekends being every other weekend.
All right, but roughly 50-50.
50-50, but that was the split.
Okay. And I want to show you what's been introduced into evidence, State's Exhibit 56. I know you've had a chance to take a look at this before, but if you'll just kind of thumb through it and tell me if you recognize it.
Sure.
Do you recognize the exhibit?
I do.
Is it a fair and accurate copy of your divorce file?
It looks like it, yes.
All right. And is it fair to say this was a contentious litigation process that you had with your ex?
It was.
And I want to ask you about a specific filing in there. It's on begins on page 43. And it's in reference to a filing on January 14th of 2013 where you were looking to relocate with the minor children. Do you recall that particular filing?
I recall the filing. You said 43. I'm not sure Oh, okay.
Yes, ma'am. Yes. On the bottom, there should be page numbers for you.
Yes.
Oh, really? People want to hear the letter again? Why did they just get here? Who? Who is people? Where? Udi. Crazy Udi. He has to hear all letters twice. And there's so many flashing colors with these members and moderators, they're everywhere. Well, okay. Fine. I don't have a problem with that. Okay. Let's. Do we already look where his office is? Look at his office. There. You see that little red dot in the sort of top left area of the screen? That's his office. Okay. It's close. It's very close. Very close. You gotta wonder what it takes to get an office in such a location, right? I mean, that is... I think you'd be hard-pressed to find a more top-tier piece of real estate in the entire nation, right? Should check out the New York offices and Tampa. We'll do that in a sec. A sec? What is a sec? A second. For fuck's sake. Regarding legal notice, demand to remove harmful content. Dear True Crime Metrix, we represent Wendi Adelson, who has been a key witness in a series of highly publicized trials of her family members arising from the death of her ex-husband Dan Markel in Tallahassee, Florida. We demand that you immediately remove content posted at link titled The Markel Adelson Boys. Okay. But you know, I need to verify that they have grounds to make such demand, because I don't just do things because someone makes a demand. You know, you got to check. And published by True Crime Metrix on YouTube. The post shockingly identifies and marks Miss Adelson's minor children. As far as I remember, we misidentified them. And it was just some other guy named Ben Adelson that happened to live in what was it? Well, it was the same area where Sigfredo Garcia was arrested, and it was the same area where Club Fate was. Or Faith. I think it's Fate. Yeah, I mean, just that had such a... I mean, he was in a dentist chair, for God's sake. His mother was a dentist. Yeah. But it wasn't the right people. The post shockingly identifies and marks Mrs. Adelson's minor children and domestic partner, none of whom had any role in the public trials. For the same reason, we demand you to remove a similar post regarding Miss Adelson's son found at link. Although the trials in which Miss Adelson has been a witness may be matters of public concern, Miss Adelson's personal life and those of her children and domestic partner are not. This content promotes threats. You see, I've got to go over the entire video and find out what he's talking about, because I don't remember promoting any threats. In fact, I'm sure that I did not. So I wonder what it is that he's referring to. I'll have to interpret it through his perspective, or that of his clients, perhaps. The content promotes threats. Excuse me. Dangerous acts, harassment, cyberbullying, doxing, and harmful behaviour directed at Miss Adelson, her minor children, and domestic partner. The video unquestionably violates YouTube's community guidelines prohibiting harmful and dangerous content. Udi, you're really good at this. What do you know about that specific section of the guidelines? Because as you all know, I take great pride in staying well within all guidelines and just very close to the edge at times. But, you know, that's the art. The only possible motivation behind disclosing personal details, I think that's a bit of a stretch, don't you think? The only possible motivation. Doesn't a statement like that, it wants to be a strong statement, right? But actually, it's an overreach and does little more than expose its own weakness. Sadly. The only possible motivation behind disclosing personal details is to harass Miss Adelson and her children, put them in fear of harm. Well, but what if I said it was motivated by money? You know, it didn't make much. I think $4 was the total that day. The only possible motivation behind blah, 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 and caused severe emotional distress. An account identified as Mia Wallace 137 posted a comment which accurately encapsulates the danger and offensiveness of this video. Quote, placing teenagers into your crosshairs. Into your crosshairs? Or in your crosshairs? Into your crosshairs. He had him in his crosshairs. I mean, let's say into. Placing teenagers in your crosshairs like this feels so beyond uncalled for and disturbing. Adults coming for innocent non-adults. I mean, I don't really want to get into defending against Mia Wallace's comment, but I will just go so far as that I completely disagree with the comment from Mia Wallace shown here. Adults coming for innocent non-adults in this manner is very disheartening to see, and you use those innocent kids to pander for money from viewers. In addition to violating YouTube's policies, this content could be deemed to violate federal and state statutes prohibiting stalking, harassments, and threats. Furthermore, the statements accusing Miss Adelson of a crime can be defamatory, can be defamation per se. Okay, so let's look at what makes defamation. In Florida, a defamation claim, libel, or slander requires proving 5 key elements. 1. A false statement. 2. Regarding the plaintiff. 3. Published to a third party. 4. Made with at least negligence or actual malice for public figures. And 5. Causing damage to the plaintiff's reputation. The statement must be a factual assertion, not a protected opinion. Well, yeah. It's all well-informed opinion. Make of that what you will. What, would you like me to put a disclaimer on, would you? A little watermark. Okay. The perception conveyed by the entirety of the publication is demonstrably defamatory, and the statements were not presented as opinion, but were sufficiently factual to be susceptible of being proved true or false. But were sufficiently factual to be susceptible of being proved true or false. See if we can interpret that. To be sufficiently factual to be susceptible of being proven true or false means a statement of assertion means a statement or assertion makes a specific objective claim about reality that can be verified or refuted through evidence, external sources, or logical demonstration. In legal and philosophical contexts, such a statement, often called a verifiable fact, differs from pure opinion, hyperbole, or value judgments, which cannot be proven true or false because they are subjective. Okay, well, whatever. I mean, through your internet and social media content, you also unlawfully promote the sale of merchandise that depicts Miss Adelson's. This is the mug. Okay, no, I'm happy to take that down, and I think that's fair enough. If the person whose face it is on the mug contacts you and says, I don't want you to do that, I think that's fair enough, and I think that's supported in law. But as for the rest of it, I disagree with what's written here. I'll have to go over it. Like I said, I've got no issue taking it down, but I would like to just run through it for my own opportunity to learn. When I was yeah. So that's that. What about his offices? Any nice pictures of those? There's the man himself. John Lauro. Should we have a look at him speaking at the beginning of Katie's trial? That'll be interesting. Georgetown University. Wow. Magna cum laude. Wow. Georgetown, huh? John Lauro is an accomplished trial lawyer with experience in complex criminal and commercial litigation. Mr. Lauro handles cases involving accounting, securities, conspiracy, healthcare, and other white-collar and commercial litigation issues. Throughout his career, he has concealed several high-profile matters that several high-profile matters that have generated considerable public attention and successful results for his clients. Mr. Lauro has obtained a Rule 29 acquittal in a high-profile federal criminal case on behalf of the former president of a national healthcare company. It wasn't that Mangione guy, was it? Who had been accused of violating the federal securities and conspiracy laws. Mr. Lauro had successfully represented an individual charged in the first .com securities fraud case brought before a federal court in Manhattan, which resulted in a jury acquittal on all counts. Additionally, he has represented a well-known sports figure who had been charged with violating the federal wire fraud statute in connection with gambling activities. Mr. Lauro has also obtained a dismissal of all civil claims against a Middle Eastern banking institution in connection with the 9/11 litigation pending in New York. The case went to the Supreme Court, which denied review. Also, Mr. Lauro obtained a multi-million-dollar judgment against a New York investment advisor for defrauding an international jewelry manufacturer in connection with an investment account. Grew up in New York, later graduated at Georgetown, magna cum laude, elected to a position as an advisory neighborhood commissioner in the District of Columbia, elected official, attended Georgetown Law Center, graduate, Following graduation, Mr. Lauro returned to New York and began practicing with the international law firm of Morgan, Lewis, and Bacchius. He later joined the criminal division at the United States Attorney's Office for the Eastern District of New York. In 1994, founded the Lauro Law Firm. Where was Harvey Adelson involved? Was he signing the checks? Don't know.
Yes, I recognize it.
Okay, and that's the filing in reference to your motion for relocation?
Yes.
Okay, and did you file this motion with the intent to not be successful?
I'm sorry, I don't understand the question.
It's been suggested that you never thought that was going to be successful, did you?
I thought there was a small chance that it would be successful, but not very likely, no.
Okay. And weren't you thinking, well, maybe Danny would be happy working somewhere else because he's mentioned applying elsewhere, so maybe he'll allow the relocation? Were you thinking that?
Well, he and I talked about the relocation. So when we talked about it, he thought, well, if I can live nearby in Miami, that might work, and then I could commute to FSU. I didn't mean for him to leave FSU, but he wanted to leave FSU at some point, so that was just a matter of time.
So you thought it might be successful?
Sure. I mean, I thought it was possible, but not likely.
All right. And page 46 of that document, paragraph E, references the job offer. The wife also desires to relocate to South Florida in order to provide a better quality of life for the children by increasing their access to close family and providing more stability and consistency. Who is the close family in South Florida?
The close family would have been
Okay, so life path number 9 says, I wasn't surprised to learn that Corey Richins and Wendi Adelson share the same zodiac sign. Their fake cries sound identical. They're both Taurus. Well, actually, Corey Richins is an Aries, and Wendi is cusp, I think. Wendi is the 22nd of April, and Corey Richins is the 20th. Same as Hitler. Let's double check. When is Taurus? Yeah, they do fluctuate. So I guess you'd have to look up the year. Which is what? Wendi is 79. And Corey... What? We'll do it for their dates. And then April 20th is... What year is she? She is 90? No. She was 32 in 2022 in March. No. She was 31 when he died, right? And he died in March. So she was just about to turn 32 in 22. So she's 90, 1990. Oh shit, you're right. Although this date is on the cusp. Ah, yeah. Okay. But that year it was Taurus. Correct. Too bad, I like Taurus.
my mom and my dad and my brother.
And which brother is that?
My brother that's here today.
Charlie Adelson?
That's correct.
Okay. What's your mom's name?
My mom's name is Donna.
Donna Adelson?
Yes, that's her name.
What about your dad?
My dad's name is Harvey.
And where did Donna and Harvey live back in the time frame between 2012 and 2016?
They lived at the home I grew up in Coral Springs.
And how far do they live away from you currently as we sit here today?
Currently, depends on Miami traffic, but anywhere between 15 minutes and an hour.
Right. And what kind of a relationship do you have with your parents as we sit here today?
I have a good relationship with my parents.
And has that always been the case?
I would say so.
Can you describe...
Yeah, I have a good relationship with my parents. Yeah, no, I see them when I can.
Describe the relationship that your mom has with your boys.
I think it's very loving. I think she's a very dedicated grandmother.
She spends a lot of time with them, doesn't she?
She does, yeah.
And when they were little and you first moved there after Danny's death, how much time was she spending with them?
When I moved there after Danny's death in 2014...
How much time was your mom spending with the boys?
I mean, we were all living together at that point. So, I mean, we were spending every day together.
How were your parents employed? Are they retired now?
They're retired now.
What are they retired from?
My dad was a dentist, and my mom used to coordinate, kind of be like an office administrator at his practice.
And did she write the checks at the practice, paychecks?
Yes. She handled all the bookkeeping.
What was the name of the practice?
The name changed over the years, but probably the name when they retired was the Adelson Institute.
And were your parents wealthy at the time that your husband was murdered?
I mean, my parents worked their whole lives to support us, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I think the business did well for a period of time.
About $2 million in profit each year between 2013 and 2016, sound right?
They never talked to me about money, so I have no idea how much the business made at any given point.
Did you discuss your marital problems with your mom at all?
I did, yeah.
Okay. What about the resulting legal issues? Was your mom read in on those things?
I mean, I definitely updated her about the results of the relocation when that petition got denied, but not kind of the ins and outs of every part of our divorce.
What about your dad? Was he invested in your divorce status?
I think the same as my mom, just worried about me and worried about the boys.
Mm-hmm. What about your brother? Did he take an interest in the ins and outs of your divorce?
No, not really.
Did he need to protect you from Dan Markel?
No, I mean, I don't think I need protection.
Were you physically in danger from Dan Markel?
No, I wasn't in danger.
Did the litigation revolving around the divorce and the subsequent issues that arose, did that impact your family back in South Florida?
I mean, only to the extent that I think they felt bad for what I was going through, but...
Mm-hmm. I want to show you an exhibit that I've marked as State's Exhibit 59. Sorry, 57, Your Honor. I think you've seen this one before as well. Does that one look familiar?
I don't remember it, to be honest. It's from 10 years ago.
Take a moment to look through it.
Sure.
It was from 10 years ago. Oh my God, 10 years, 10 long years. Wow. Yeah, I mean, how would you remember anything after 10 years, right? 10 years. What is she trying to remember?
When you're done, I'll let opposing counsel take a look at it, but go ahead and let us know when you're done reviewing it. Okay. And would your mom sometimes enlist your brother Charlie to convince you to do certain things in your personal life?
Can't really think of an example of that.
Well, dating Dave was a big one on some of the materials I had.
Yeah, people like Dave.
Yeah, people like Dave.
All right, and your mom really liked Dave.
Yeah, everyone liked Dave, but we were just friends.
Okay. Did she try? So she would try to get Charlie to convince you to date a certain person.
I don't think she was getting Charlie to convince me to date Dave. I think everyone liked Dave.
All right. And would she try to get Charlie to convince you to do certain things as far as your professional life? What jobs to take?
No, I don't
She
think
didn't
so.
do that. Would she try to get Charlie to do certain things like advise you on investment decisions, whether or not you were going to buy a house, for example?
I don't think so. I don't remember that. Danny and I made that decision together.
Once you had left Dan and you were living separately, did you look into purchasing a home here in Tallahassee?
I did, yeah.
And did your brother Charlie convince you not to do that?
I don't remember him convincing me not to. The only reason why I didn't was because I was waiting on the money from Danny from the settlement and he didn't pay it, so I couldn't afford the house.
And your mom didn't want you to buy the house, did she?
That's not true. My parents were looking to buy a house in Tallahassee as well.
Okay. Did you have... Strike. General...
Yeah, what did they like best about Tallahassee? The smell or the sticky floors? Everywhere you go, there's that musky, you know, that's the smell of a swamp, festering, horrible swamp.
Speaking, does your mom manipulate the personal lives of her children?
No.
Is your mom, like, if she's really upset about something or worked up about something, is that something that your brother Charlie's going to hear a lot about? Who's going to hear more of it, you or Charlie?
Well, if my mom's upset with me, probably Charlie. And if she's upset with Charlie, probably me.
Okay, so...
Oh, yeah, like, if I take the last piece of cake out of the fridge, my mother, she will phone Charlie up and say, oh, that Wendy's been so bad. And if Charlie drops his cell phone into a patient's mouth, she'll phone me up and say, oh, that Charlie's been so bad. Doesn't it just sound, it's like listening to, I don't know, what's that old TV show about that stupid family? You know, it's just this sort of twee, sing-songy, well, if my mum's upset with Charlie, probably me. And if she's upset with me, because I took the last piece of cake, she'll go to Charlie. It's just weird.
Charlie, probably me.
Okay, so do you get a lot of that? Do you hear a lot about, let's go back, let's go to before the murder. Did you get a lot of Donna just giving you an earful about what Charlie needs to be doing?
Probably, at some point.
What was Charlie doing with his personal life? What did his personal life look like?
At what point?
Before the murder.
I mean, at what period of time before?
All of them. Wasn't it just a revolving door of girlfriends?
Right, but my mom didn't complain to me about that.
She didn't mind that with him.
I don't understand the question.
She didn't mind if he went from girl to girl to girl. That was acceptable.
She didn't really weigh in on it, no.
Who talked to her more, you or Charlie?
Charlie.
A lot more, right?
Yeah.
At the time of Dan Markel's murder, were your parents extremely angry with Dan?
Yeah.
Angry with Dan? Her more, you or Charlie?
I mean, at what period of time before?
All of them. Wasn't it just a revolving door of girlfriends?
Men.
Right, but my mom didn't complain to me about that.
She didn't mind that with him.
I don't understand the question.
She didn't mind if he went from girl to girl to girl. That was acceptable.
She didn't...
Charlie's looking at me. He's like, what, Playboy? Me? A revolving door of constant women? Never having to be faithful to any of them? Just a constant barrage of women that like me because I was rich?
Charlie, probably me.
Okay, so do you get a lot of that? Do you hear a lot about, let's go back, let's go to before the murder? Did you get a lot of Donna just giving you an earful about what Charlie needs to be?
Leave it to Charlie, the Adelson bunch, Okay, what else could we do? You can't really do anything with the Waltons. What's that other one? Leave it to be the Brady Bunch. Archie. She's the pig.
Doing?
Probably at some point.
What was Charlie doing with
Or Green Acres.
his personal life? What did his personal life look like
At what point?
before the murder?
I mean, at what period of time before?
All of them. Wasn't it just a revolving door of girlfriends?
Right, but my mom didn't.
No, you see him. Look.
Friends?
No,
Right, but my mom
no,
didn't complain to
no.
me about that.
She didn't mind that.
Revolving door. Revolving door. I didn't care if they had to squeeze through a cat flap to get to me. What does he say? All I gotta worry about is who is massaging my feet on what beach today. Oh. Oh, what does he say to his buddy when he's trying to get him to come around? Shoulder rubs in the grotto. Shoulder rubs in the... Are you coming round for brunch and shoulder rubs in the grotto? You know, it's kind of funny because I don't think he ever mentions women on that call. So we don't know. We assume that women, but you know, from the call alone, it sounds like he's just inviting a man, and it's just going to be the two of them together with shoulder rubs in the grotto.
Yeah.
I don't understand the question.
She didn't mind if he went from girl to girl to girl. That was acceptable.
She didn't really weigh in on it, no.
Who talked to her more, you or Charlie?
Charlie.
A lot more, right?
Yeah.
Hey, do you think Charlie Adelson was ever in, like, Thailand or something and got a hooker and brought her up to his hotel room, reached down and grabbed hold of the hooker's cock? Because that can happen. And what do you think he did then? Do you think he just went with it? Do you think he's always wondered about it?
At the time of Dan Markel's murder, were your parents extremely angry with Dan?
At that point, no. They were in a much better place.
I want to direct your attention to an interview that was conducted on, I think this was your law enforcement interview.
They were in a much better place. Is this before or after the letters where she is going, let's show this fuck what it means to, you know, whatever she says. What is it? Should we pull them up? Pull up some Donna letters.
So July 18th, 2014. And I'm specifically for court and counsel looking at page 27, lines 11 and 12. And I've got it open to the page, but you can flip around if you need to familiarize yourself.
Sure.
And I'll take that exhibit if you want.
Do you want me to flip through or just look at this one page?
If you'll just look at that one page for me, not that reminder. 27. Let me get to where you are. So page 27 there, lines 11 and 12, and I've got it highlighted for you.
Yes,
So,
Hey, I just had a thought. Do you think Grish has had a letter? What does he say? What does he say? Do you think Grish has had a letter? Hey, Grish, are you out there? Are you somewhere in the comments? Are you here now? Are you with us? Have you got a letter too? Maybe we should have a look at one of Brish's videos. I want to see one of his older videos, because I used to really like some of the points that were being made, but the recent stuff I just can't get on board with it, you know. It's not a... I find it very difficult to give it any credibility. And, yeah. That's not through being closed to changing my position on things. I was very open, I think. But didn't see anything that really... But yeah, I want to remember the old times.
Says Ms. Adelson, you know, my parents are, you know, very angry toward him. Is that true?
Was that
Isn't
true?
that what you said? Your parents were very angry toward Dan.
Can I read the rest of the sentence?
Sure.
So I say, you know, my parents are very angry towards him, but even when they're around my kids, they would never say a bad word about my kid's father.
And then on page 288, line 24, through page 289, line 1.
Do you reckon they called Professor Markel Elvis in front of the boys? I still don't get that. Why were they calling him Elvis? It was either because, like, they called the Markels the royal family or something, didn't they? What was it? Their royal highnesses or something like that. So Elvis was the king. Yeah. What's that song Elvis does with you walk like an angel, talk like an angel. You know, we can't play it, unfortunately, because of copyright. But you know the one. Walk like an angel. Talk, I think it's the other way around, isn't it? Walk like an angel, but I got wise.
And that's going to be... Yeah. Didn't you say, you know, it's...
God, maybe we should play it a cappella. It's just so appropriate for this show.
like my parents have more reason to dislike Danny than almost anyone else. Is that what you said?
That is what I said.
And that's because he hurt you, right?
And I was saying that in the context of talking.
Michelle, I think it must be just because the Elvis was the king, right? Oh, he thinks he's Elvis, you know, he thinks he's like the king of rock and roll, or such a big shot with his white sequined suit and his deep fried peanut butter and banana sandwiches. I mean, has anybody actually tried that? Has anybody actually been to a eating establishment that has that on the menu? The Elvis. So it's a sandwich. Does it have to be a special kind of bread, or is it just like white sliced sandwich bread? Peanut butter, mashed up banana, and then you take that and you deep fry it whole, and that's what you eat. I mean, and I don't think I could eat that once, but he was having them every day, multiple times a day. I mean, it's a lot, isn't it?
to law enforcement for hours and hours and trying to help them figure out who might be responsible.
Right, and who did you tell them might be responsible?
Well, I told them many, many people, but are you asking about this particular...
Did Kit Kat run a commercial? You know how Kit Kat, the slogan is take a break, have a break, because the Kit Kat breaks into segments, right? And there was an ad campaign where it was Kit Kat, and it was about Elvis, and they said, Elvis has left the building, Elvis is dead, and then it cut to a shot of Elvis having a Kit Kat, and then he said in the Elvis voice, I ain't dead, baby, I'm just having a break. Did that play stateside?
Moment right here.
You told them your family might be responsible.
Or potentially someone to do with a former student or his current girlfriend. I mentioned lots of people that I thought could be responsible.
Okay, and of the lots of people that could have been responsible, your family was one.
Yep.
Because they might have done this thinking it would help you. I mean, that's what happened, right?
I'm sorry, I don't understand the question.
Your family had your ex-husband killed to try to help you, didn't they?
No, that's completely untrue.
And back to the divorce, the petition where Danny is responding to your petition for the motion to relocate. Are you familiar with that filing, or do you need to take a look at it?
I need to take a look at it.
All right, it's going to be page 79 through 101, and this is back to our exhibit 56. And again, that was the filing begins on page 79. I'm specifically interested in 82. And in this filing, doesn't Mr. Markel say, quote, the husband affirmatively alleges that the wife helped herself to non-marital assets, including money and stocks owned prior to marriage, as well as numerous personal non-marital belongings of the husband, such as luggage, bicycle, tennis racket, and family heirlooms. The wife has refused to return these items or to allow the husband into her home to see what other personal belongings were taken without his permission or acquiescence. So my point is, he's accusing you of theft in this paragraph.
Those are the words that are here, yes.
Yeah, and he's very adamantly objecting to your relocation, right? On page 82, it says the sole stated reason the wife seeks to relocate is so that she can be closer to her parents. Was being near your parents the sole reason that you wanted to relocate?
No.
It wasn't the sole reason stated in your petition?
It wasn't the sole reason stated in my petition, and it wasn't the sole reason that he and I talked about before I filed the motion to relocate.
Why was he so adamant and so confident that this was the real reason you wanted to be down there?
I think there's a lot of things in these pleadings that are not true, so just because it says something doesn't make it true.
Sure, but did he know that your mom was just grinding on this issue of trying to get you down there?
He would have had no idea.
He wouldn't have been, that wouldn't have been known to him?
I don't think so.
But he was accusing you in these pleadings of all kind of stuff, right? I mean, I'm not saying it's true, but hiding financial assets, failing to disclose things, kidnapping his kids in the middle of, his business trip, all those sorts of things, right?
Yes, you said lots of things.
All right, and you said a lot of things too. There's filings going both ways that are pretty venomous. Would you agree with that?
I would not agree with that.
Yours were pleasant.
I'm not saying divorce filings are pleasant, but mine were not venomous.
Okay. Did your mother, Donna Adelson, review the filing in which Dan Markel is accusing you of this theft and all this stuff?
I don't remember if she did.
What about the one where Dan Markel is asking that your mother not be permitted to have unsupervised visitation with the kids?
My mom never saw that because after he filed that, he then asked my parents to babysit the kids. My mom baked him banana bread, gave him a hug goodbye. So there was nothing truthful about that pleading that he filed, and my mom never saw it.
Why do you think he filed that?
He was really angry at me for leaving him.
Okay, so he didn't really want to limit your mom's visitation with the kids.
No,
and that's
evidence for her to babysit after he filed that.
Evidenced by the banana bread, and so she didn't even know about that filing.
She never knew about it.
Okay, and when she laid all those options out in that email to you about other options that you could take to secure the relocation, as far as bribing, remember that? Converting the Christian children to Christianity, remember that suggestion?
I sure do.
Okay. What did she put in there that she viewed as your most non-negotiable and most important part of your divorce?
I don't know. Do you have something I can see?
States Exhibit 57. And it is page 1. Page 1, paragraph 2.
So you want me to read what she said here?
I want you to answer the question. What was the most important part
of the divorce for my mom?
Yes.
It says here that for her it was relocation.
All right. And did you have 2 8-hour mediations in your divorce?
We had 2 very long mediations. I don't remember exactly how long they were, but they
did
felt
they
like
result in a resolution?
No.
Was Mr. Markel seeking to depose your mom as part of the divorce?
I don't remember that.
Do you know if it ever happened?
I don't think it happened. I don't remember it.
Was the prospect of that upsetting to your mom?
I don't think so. I don't remember it, so I don't remember talking with her about it. Or
did your mom call Dan any disparaging names around this time frame?
Well, I just read them in the emails, but I don't remember them independently.
Okay. Did she call him an asshole?
Yes.
A narcissist?
Yes.
A bully?
Yes.
Religious zealot?
Yes.
Bastard?
That I don't remember.
Page 5.
Okay. Is it page 5 from the first email?
Yes, if you'll just go through by that physical pages.
Did she call him a piece of shit?
I see, yes.
I'm sorry, what was your answer?
Just pause there.
Yes.
Pause.
Fucker?
Yes.
Oh my God, imagine what it would be like for the jury to be looking at this guy laughing about the names his mother called the man that they have now been both Charlie and Donna convicted of murdering. Very quick returns on the jury's verdicts each time. In fact, Donna's was quicker than Charlie's very, very fast return of the verdict, I believe. Yeah, and there he is. Fucker, asshole, bastard. Oh, he's greasing up.
But in all the filings made on your behalf by the different lawyers that you had, and all of the emails that your mom sent, he was never...
And then he tries to force this very I'm demure I'm really demure. I'm so demure right now. The only thing beneath me is the floor. If I lay down there, maybe I'd feel a little better right now, but I'm just demure. This is my face. I'm demure.
You're described as abusive.
I mean, he was described as emotionally abusive, yes.
Can you show me where he was described as emotionally abusive in any of those items?
Well, not by my mom, but in the pleadings.
Okay, show me that.
It's going to take me a while to find it.
Okay, well, it's
want me
not
to
in there, but you can get back to me
Well,
with
it is in there.
Objection, Your Honor. The comment. She's not testifying.
Hold on, please approve.
So would you have to review the whole file in order to find that, or could you give us a starting point of which filing it might be located in?
It might be under the petition to relocate. It might be under the initial divorce proceedings.
Okay.
It wouldn't be in emails from my mom, but it would take a while to find it. It might be in the depositions.
Okay, did you view yourself as being stuck here in Tallahassee once the relocation was denied?
I didn't. I mean, I had a really nice life here. I did not view myself as being stuck.
Would you please turn to page 176 in that exhibit in front of you? I think it's highlighted for you. Did you describe yourself in that filing as being stuck in Tallahassee?
I don't see it. You said it was highlighted, but there's nothing highlighted.
Okay. 176. My page. I didn't highlight it for you. Okay. Give me just a moment.
I see the word stuck. I found it.
Okay. So did you describe, at least in one occasion, being stuck in Tallahassee?
No, can I read the sentence?
Sure.
So it says, the husband has made it difficult for the wife with her colleagues at her current position due to his statements and actions, and the husband's intent is to relocate to a larger area at some point. So the wife is merely stuck in Tallahassee until the husband decides that the time is right for him to leave.
All right.
Meaning,
and had he accepted a job anywhere else by the time that he was murdered?
no, he hadn't yet been offered a job, but he was always looking.
Okay. So he was just going to move and just let you have the kids at that point?
Yeah, fucking deadbeat. Just couldn't find a job. Sick at his job he was. And then, he was looking, always sending out resumes, but no one wanted him. Miami didn't want him. Florida State just felt sorry for the guy.
He probably would have done what I did, which is have a conversation and see if it was a place that made sense for both of us to live.
And would you have moved to wherever he got a great job and started a new...
Yeah. Top of the list, Oklahoma City. And unless we're lucky enough to get Little Rock, Arkansas. I'd have been happy to move. Good news, we're all moving to Des Moines.
new life there?
Potentially, yeah.
Okay. Did you like Tallahassee?
I did.
And you said, I think you did say this, but let me clarify. Was your mom aware of the order?
Oh, wow, I'm so convinced. Did you like Tallahassee? I did. Yeah, I really did. Yeah. But didn't Jeff say that you couldn't go to the movie theater with Wendi in Tallahassee without her saying the movie theater in Miami was better? Hey. Cool. Thank you, Michelle, for the soap treats. Did you see the book? Did you see the fantastic book that we got for soap? Where's our great book? Soap treats on the soap metrics. What is it? Soap dog metrics. The best place to support a dog. And really, she definitely, well, I won't go into that right now. Where's the book? Fuck, where is it? There it is. It's awesome. It's about a bear that helps a pony look nice. Dr. Artolis and Pico. Pretty classic. You see, this would have been better to give to the Richards boys than the book that Corrie made. You know, that book that Corrie made. Look, imagine that you're grief-stricken, right? You've lost your dad, you're 6 years old, and you get this book. And just for a moment, you're happy. They're happy. The bear's happy. I mean, and then you look at the Corrie Richards book and it's like, what the fuck is this? Are you going to watch me make mistakes and not be there at my birthday? Am I not going to get a Christmas present from you anymore? It's like, what the fuck are you trying to do to your kids? You sick woman. Corrie Richards, what the fuck? Are you not going to be there when I really, really need you the most? And then the bit where it's like, I am with you. I will be with you, Simba. You have forgotten me, Simba, but you are my son and the one true king, the Mason King. Spooky. I mean, it really, it's like a horror, it's like a ghost. This spirit will be following you forever. It's sick what she did. So Dr. Artolis and Pico would have been a much better choice to help grief-stricken children.
Order denying relocation.
My mom was aware of the order denying relocation.
And what about your brother, Charlie? Was he aware of that as well?
I'm sure my mom would have said something to him.
All right, so did your mom suggest any ways that you might coerce Dan Markel to let you move with the kids to South Florida?
Yes, I think we talked about that before.
We did, and for this I'm referring back to those emails. And in particular...
Okay, Acapella wants to know if it's a badger helping the bear. Hedgehog. It's a hedgehog. It's clearly a hedgehog. You can tell by the back of spikes that it has. You see? You see, I know in one picture, in the fire hydrant picture, he's wearing a protective, personal protective equipment. But in other pictures, you can clearly see the spikes.
The bribe. So another bribe to get him to allow relocation. I'm on page 5 of the first email for the defense. Another bribe to get him to allow relocation should be the offer of plane tickets so that he can fly back and forth, right? So you're going to potentially offer this big monetary benefit that would...
Imagine that. You've had your rough divorce, right? You've been arguing over tennis rackets and bicycles and fucking family heirlooms, Holocaust diamond wedding rings and all sorts of stuff, the Schwab accounts, and it's just been really difficult. But then, you know, when the end is in sight, your in-laws show up and say, hey, we were thinking, as a resolution, maybe you would like to spend every waking minute of your free time in an airport. Flying up and down. You know, because going to the airport has definitely become one of the worst possible, well, things to encounter in a, regular sort of life, What other things are there that people don't like to do? The dentist, right? Which is funny because they're all fucking dentists. Oh, yeah. Yeah, no. Okay, so the dentist, airports. Jury duty, if it's a really boring case. Be great on this though, wouldn't it? On the Charlie Adelson trial. I mean, that's like the golden ticket of jury service. What else? Dentist, airport, jury service. What else is a really like... And dentist has to be all-encompassing for all medical procedures. Otherwise we could say, a prostate exam or a fucking cervical cancer. Or, so... No, I think airport is definitely the worst. Yeah, so the in-laws show up, you've had your horrible divorce, and they say, yeah, good news. We've worked out what works for everybody, and what works is for you to spend your entire life in the airport. Great. Just what I was hoping.
Allow him to fly back and forth to work. Is that the idea?
I never said that I was going to do any of that.
Okay, was that the idea that your mom had?
That was the idea.
All right, and the amount of the bribe is going to be, or was at least discussed as being $1 million. Is that right?
That is what they said.
Okay, and did you agree with that?
No.
Would that have worked?
I have no idea if it would have worked, but...
You think he might have taken $1 million to let his kids go?
Well, he wasn't letting his kids go. He would have moved to South Florida, and he would have commuted back and forth to his job. So, maybe.
Well, then why wasn't it offered?
Because I didn't want to do it.
All right, what about the idea that you could try to threaten Dan to convert the kids to Christianity so that they can fit into the Bible Belt here in Tallahassee? Is that something your mom suggested in these emails?
My mom did suggest that.
Okay, and specifically, this is on page 7 of the exhibit. Let Gibbers know that your children will be baptized in the Catholic Church. Have a picture made of them in front of the church, all that kind of thing. That's what your mom suggested at one time?
She did, yes.
Okay, and did you do any of those things?
No, I don't even think I responded to it.
Do you know whether the defendant, your brother Charlie, was supportive of the plan to convert them or pose as converting them to Christianity?
I have no idea. I don't think he was particularly involved in this round of my mom's emails.
On page 11 of the exhibit, there's an indication from your mom that Charlie at least has discussed this with her and maybe is somewhat supportive. Charlie brought up a good point when he said that Americans were dropped behind enemy lines during World War II wearing Nazi uniforms to get what they wanted. They had a job to get done, and they did what they needed to do to accomplish it. You have a job to get done in a very short time frame to accomplish it. If you dressed your kids up in Hitler Youth uniforms and brought them down here, I could care less if it was an act of defiance that would show Gibbers that he's, all caps and bold, not in control. So it just seems like your mom was pretty extreme about this situation of getting you relocated. Can you agree with that?
Yeah.
All right, and Charlie was at least consulted on it or had offered some information about it.
Well, that was my mom's rendition, so I don't know if that's what actually happened or that was her perception.
Sure. Were you involved in the effort to consult a lawyer about the bribe and whether that was going to be legal?
I wasn't the lawyer consulted in that.
No. Were you involved in consulting a lawyer with your mom? Do you know for sure if any financial offer was or was not made to Dan Markel?
I couldn't say for sure if they made it to Danny without me knowing, but I don't think so.
Is that something they would do, is try to negotiate with him behind your back or deal with this situation behind your back?
I don't think so. I think I would have known. Danny probably would have told me.
But you definitely didn't extend any of these offers or threats?
No.
When was the divorce final?
The summer of 2013.
All right, I'm going to switch gears for a minute and talk about phone stuff. Was your cell phone collected by the police in this case after Dan was shot?
I gave the police my cell phone and asked them to search it if it could be useful.
All right, and around the time of the murder, was your number 954-803-0079?
It was.
And can you agree that the numbers, let me show you an exhibit. 59, I believe. You will? Okay. Well, I want to explain what it is. Okay. Yeah, so I talked a lot about converting to Christianity, but I didn't mention what religion you are. We talked about Dan being more religious than you are, but we didn't talk about what religion you are. So could you explain that to the jury, please?
Sure, I'm Jewish.
And Dan was as well, right?
And Danny was Jewish as well.
Okay. So I had this exhibit 59. This is not 59. Yes, that's what we did. One moment. You may not be able to do this, but states 59, I've got phone numbers attributed to your family members. Obviously, you don't know the other people. Are those phone numbers accurate, if you know, for the time frame around the murder?
Yes.
Okay. All right, and then you are also familiar with the wiretap that was conducted in this case?
Yes.
And did I provide you a disc labeled Disc 107, ask you to review some calls and see if you could authenticate the voices on those calls?
Yes.
All right, and for that, I made you a little spreadsheet, which I've marked as 61. And were you able to initial by each call indicating that the highlighted names are the voices of the people they purport to be?
Yes.
Judge, at this time, I asked to move to evidence state 61.
Any objection?
No objection.
State 61 is admitted.
All right, and if we can shift back to, we talked about your divorce being final. Once the divorce was final, weren't there still a lot of filings that went back and forth between both you and Dan Markel?
Yes and no. The divorce was final. We had a final settlement agreement. Mm-hmm. The agreement was I take my name off the title to the house. He pays me half the value to the house. So within the first week, I went and took my name off the title to the house, and I waited until October when he was supposed to get back to me.
And I just waited. I waited and waited. I took my title off the house straight away without any confirmation that he would pay, because that was exactly characteristic of how I went about things during the course of my divorce. Yeah, I did it all in good faith. That's exactly what I did.
He never paid me the money, and so I called and I asked what happened. That was the deal, and he said, I have compelling reasons, I'm not going to pay you. And so I made one filing, a motion.
He tricked me. He tricked me. He showed me a carrot and I walked for it, and then I got the stick. He showed me a carrot but gave me the stick.
To enforce the settlement agreement because he didn't do it.
Right. So you believed that he owed you money pursuant to the settlement agreement.
Yes.
He was in violation of the settlement agreement.
Yes.
And he was of the belief that you had withheld some financial things from your affidavit, and maybe he didn't owe you the money that you had previously agreed on because you had not been honest in the initial disclosures, right?
He accused my attorney of having unclean hands and committing a crime.
Yeah, and assisting you in withholding this money from the
Correct.
disclosures. Okay. All right, so I want to ask you about the motion to enforce marital settlement agreement and hold Dan Markel in contempt of court. That was filed, you may need to refresh your memory, October 31st, 2013. Give you the exhibit 56 and have you take a look at, this is going to be on 338. All right, could you just read the title, the caption of that filing?
Motion to enforce marital settlement agreement and to show cause why the former husband should not be held in contempt of court.
What does it mean to be held in contempt of court?
It means not to be doing what the court has asked you to do.
What can happen to you if you're held in contempt of court?
I don't know, really.
Could you be jailed?
I don't know.
All right, and when was the...
No knowledge of that. They didn't teach me that when I took the bar. What happens if you're found in contempt of court? I don't know. You're in. Welcome to the Florida bar. It's not exactly the highest standard, is it? You'd think that that would be an important feature. But it was 10 years ago, 20 years ago. So long ago. I'm a single mother, and I drive a minivan. I have to be solely focused, singularly focused on the boys. Okay?
This was you filing it, right? I mean, you're the client.
Right.
You're asking that he be held in contempt. And you don't know
filed
what
this-
that means?
I mean, at the time I filed, which was 10 years ago.
Oh, okay. Well, refresh your recollection with the
Okay.
document. Goes through 340.
Okay, I have it.
Okay. So, what was it you were asking for in this motion?
It was what I just mentioned. So basically, I took my name off the title to the house. He never paid. This was asking him to pay.
Cough up the money or be held in contempt?
Yep.
Okay. And what day was this filed?
This.
Cough up the money or be held in contempt. Cough up the money. You can imagine that might be one of those things that gets passed around the Adelson family. They all say the same little expressions, don't they? Rough someone up and not in a million years and so on. I think cough up the money. You can just see Donna in the kitchen of the Icon saying, "Tell him to cough up the money or be held in contempt." Or maybe Harvey came in and said, "Tell him to cough up the money." Because it does have that sort of Dick Tracy, you know, what do you call those? You know, those is it Dick Tracy? Those detective novels of the 1940s. You know, it's rough out there. It's tough out there.
Was filed on October 31st, 2013.
All right, so Halloween of 13, and that's the same day that you backed out of the contract to purchase the house in Tallahassee, right?
I don't remember.
Hey, Wendy, why do you have to read everything like you're trying to pass a reading exam or something? It's a bit like a spelling bee, isn't it? Which is funny because Donna, you know, in the spelling bee, when they have to sound out like the words, the letters of the word. Like they'll say, hey, okay, Wendy, your word is onomatopoeia. And she'll go, ONOMATOPOEIA. You know how they have to sound it out? Or, what else could it be? I don't know. But she does that with everything. October 31st, 2004. Why is that? To totally detach from the implied meaning of the question? To focus on correctly reading out the words and to make that your projected focus? Does that in turn take the focus of others off of the intended purpose of the prosecutor's question? Because she does it a lot, too much for it not to be a well thought out tactic, right? That's the impression I get. I just want to hear what the question was, that she's using this way of reading a date. You know, if she projects her focus into an area so in such an attention-calling way, does that in turn, you know, make others refocus their attention away from the prosecutor's question, right? It's like, look over here. Look over here. Don't look over there. Look over here.
Jailed?
I don't know.
All right. And when was this filed? This was you filing it, right? I mean, you're the client.
Right.
You're asking that he be held in contempt. And you don't know what that means?
I mean, at the time I filed, which was 10 years ago.
Oh, okay. Well, refresh your recollection with the document. It goes through 340.
Okay, I have it.
Okay. So, what was it you were asking for in this motion?
It was what I just mentioned. So, basically, I took my name off the title to the house. He never paid. This was asking him to pay.
Cough up the money or be held in contempt?
Yep.
Okay. And what day was this filed?
This was filed on October 31st, 2013.
All right, so Halloween of 13, and that's the same day that you backed out of the contract to purchase the house in Tallahassee, right?
I don't remember what day that was.
Okay. Do you remember that it was your brother, Charlie, that specifically convinced you to back out of that particular house deal?
I don't, actually. I don't remember that.
I don't remember that. Yep. Must have slipped my mind.
These text messages refresh your recollection. Okay. And you may have to look around for context, but I'm specifically looking at this one.
Okay.
Look at her. What is she doing?
D. Did you ever communicate with her through WhatsApp?
No, I never communicated with her at all.
All right, let's talk about, well, you communicated with her on the beach.
I saw her in person, but I'm saying I never texted with her, called her. I never communicated via a device other than in person.
Okay. What about when you were talking to your brother? Did she ever get on the phone and speak to you?
I don't think so.
Okay. I want to talk about where you went when you left your residence on the day of the murder. You tried to turn on to Trescott, and then you ended up where?
I went, I was supposed to go to a party that night, a Stock the Bar party, so I went to a liquor store to pick up what they had asked for as the present for their party. So I went to the liquor store, I picked up
What they asked for. It was definitely what they asked for. I had to go and pick up what they asked for.
the alcohol. I stopped, I think I got gas, and then I went to lunch to meet my friends.
And the liquor store purchase.
People always do that, don't they, these days? You know, give you an invitation to a party and then attach a little label on the top that tells you what gift to bring. Do they do that? I mean, I guess they do. I mean, I don't know. I've heard about the thing where a young couple will get married, right? And they'll have this special website like profile where they just go and put all the shit they want to set up their life, right? So the sort of fucking blender that they want, and what microwave they want, and blah 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 blah. And people can go on there, guests to the wedding go on there, and they volunteer to get that thing, right? And don't even have to go out and buy it or wrap it. They just pay for it on Amazon. It's such a, I mean, I guess that makes sense. But doesn't it just seem to expose the farce of being invited to a wedding? It's like, yeah, you have been selected to contribute to setting up an entire house full of shit. You're lucky enough, and we'll get you dinner. Yeah, we'll get you dinner, but you're going to get us a $700 microwave. And not by Zanussi, but by who makes the best microwave. I've never used a microwave for anything, because I think they're for fucking. Well, I know a lot of people use them, but I just think the idea that they're time saving is full of shit, right? You can have a delicious, good meal in 3 fucking minutes in a pan. Right? It's like, it's so much better, and it can be just as quick, and no mess. Hardly any mess. Yeah, I guess I've got no. I know a lot of people use them, but I think they should all wake up and think, what? And people say, "Oh well, I'm busy in the morning. I'm busy in the morning." Okay. If you're microwaving things in the morning, that's even worse. Even worse.
Appears to have occurred at 12:49 based on the receipt. Do you have any reason to dispute that timing?
No, that sounds right.
Okay, and then from there to the restaurant?
Yes.
And where was the restaurant located?
Mosaic. I actually don't remember. I just remember I would go north on Thomasville Road.
All right.
And so it was.
And is the restaurant where law enforcement came to speak with you, and you ended up going with them to the police station, right?
That's correct.
Right. Do you agree or disagree that there have been some financial benefits to you and your boys as a result of Dan's death?
I disagree.
When did you decide to change the names of your children from Markel to Adelson?
So after Danny's murder, there was a lot of news. It just hit the media, and there were news stories everywhere. And Nancy Grace on CNN put pictures of my boys with their faces unblurred, just pictures of them. Mm. And I was terrified. And so when they started school, I started school with my last name, thinking that would keep them safe, that they wouldn't be associated with the murder.
Wasn't the Adelson name in the press just as much as Markel?
It was not in the press. Not yet.
Do you agree that you legally changed the kids' names on July 6th of 2015?
That sounds right.
So it was actually a year after the homicide.
A year after.
When was the last time you talked to your mom? Did you talk to her today, yesterday?
I talked to her yesterday.
In her emails, and we referenced one of them while you've been here on the stand, she talks about you giving performances and playing roles. Did you discuss anything about what you would do here today in court with your mother?
No.
Were you involved in any way in the plot to kill your ex-husband?
Absolutely not.
Did you know it was going to happen, but maybe not know the details?
I knew nothing.
Is that why you went to the crime scene on the day of the homicide?
I did not go to the crime scene on the day of the homicide.
Do you know who all was involved in the murder?
Well, I learned today, but at the time, no.
Okay. Have you ever privately confronted your brother about his role or possible role in the murder?
My attorney has advised me not to have conversations with anyone in my family about the case.
But you had a close relationship with your brother at the time of the murder, right?
I absolutely had a close relationship with my brother.
And how soon after the murder did your lawyer advise you not to talk to your family about it?
In 2016.
Okay, so what about the 2 years in between? Did you talk to him about it then?
I mean, I talked to him about the fact that a murder occurred, but I guess I don't understand the question.
But you never talked to him about the suspicions you raised in the law enforcement interview that your brother might have done it.
No, I did not.
You suspected your brother.
Hey, look, there's our buddy John Lauro in the crowd. I just noticed. You see, how much money would it cost to pay for a lawyer, and one with his name on the name of the firm, a partner, to sit through an entire trial? I mean, this is her testimony, but he's there for a lot of it, I think, right? And I might be wrong, but all trials, even the Magbanua trial, before any Adelson had been on trial.
Could have been a part of this, right?
I suspected lots of people could have been a part of it.
But he was one of the people, right?
While I was talking with law enforcement for 6 hours, terrified out of my mind, I offered them every possible idea I could come up with.
Right. And one of the possible ideas was that your brother could have murdered your child's father.
I didn't really believe that was possible.
Was part of the plot for you to be able to have plausible deniability about this?
Absolutely not.
Is it better for both you and your brother if you don't know the details of this?
I don't even understand the question that you're asking me.
When did you first become aware that you might be a suspect in this case?
I mean, as the ex-wife, I assumed I was a suspect from the beginning.
What was your first thought when you were asked if anyone might have murdered Dan Markel for your benefit?
I thought, oh my God, maybe if I hadn't divorced him, he would still be alive. Maybe this is my fault because I complained to the wrong person. Maybe Danny gave a student a bad grade and they came after him. I just was trying to...
Yeah, maybe he gave a student a bad grade, or you know what? Maybe he was handing out lollipops at the end of class, and as the students were leaving, he handed them a lollipop one by one as they left, and it got to the last student and he ran out of lollipops, and that student came after him. I mean, yeah. Maybe he was at daycare and accidentally knocked over one of the sand castles that another boy was building, and that boy's father saw this happen and decided that was it for him. I went through every possibility I could think of. Okay, I think we're going to leave it there, folks. It's 3 hours and 4 minutes in. We've been True Crime Metrix, reading John Lauro's letter. How many letters have been sent? Who else has received them? Reach out to us. If you've also received a John Lauro letter, we'd like to hear from you. We'd like to share thoughts, ideas, or anything else. Or context. Apparently other letters have been sent. Jackie's talking about it. And I know what the issues that have been raised to me are. I'd be curious if others have received such specific demands. And it'd be interesting if there was some kind of pattern, right? to what people have been demanded of to take down or whatever. Okay. Well, thanks for coming, guys. Thanks so much, Michelle, for those 3 bones, chocolate bones for a chocolate dog. We appreciate it. Okay. Oh. We gotta double check something else. No, we don't. Okay, we'll be back tomorrow with, I think we're going to do the comparison of Corey Rich and Sarah Boone, right? We've got 911 call. We've got police body cam. There's a lot to look at. Both women basically refused to do any attempt to resuscitate and argued with the operator who was desperately trying to help. Oh. Yeah, I think we'll have a look at that. That should be fun. Okay, good night, everybody, and have a great Saturday. Enjoy it. Have an ice cream. Goodbye.